how to create a track a bit like a Boyz Noize or Lock Club. They're very electro, techno, and I thought it'd be a good one to do from the point of a sound design point of view. So the first thing I did is come up with a snare and kick, which sounds like this. What that is the kick is firstly a layer of 3 samples basically. You've got the top end, sort of mid-range, low end, then you've got this just distorted little sound there, and you merge those together and you got the kick sample there. So it's bust out to track 7. I've got that going into the Camel Crusher distortion plugin, and then after that it goes into the Soft Tube saturation plugin, and then it sounds like that. The actual snare is again a sample that consists of 3 layers. So you've actually got the first layer, which is, and then the second one, which is, and then the third, which is a little tap really. So the snare sounds like that. So the snare has got a Space Designer reverb on it, and that just gives it a little bit of reverb tail, and then it's got the EQ on it, cutting out the lows on there a bit, just to make it sound snappy and not interfere with the kick. So you mix them together. And then the next thing is the hats, which sound like this. They're bust to track 5. Track 5, I've just got a little bit of Camel Crusher again on there, a bit of distortion. Okay, so the hats consist of 1 sample just on every other 16th there, and then you've got the second layer of hats, which sounds like, which is slightly more offbeat. So put those together, you got more of a groove going like this. And then you put that with the drums, and then you've got this. From there, what I did was layer up a bass, and with the bass for this type of electro techno, I tried to get it so that it actually grooves around the kick and the snare. So if I put these together, it sounds like, basically the bass consists of, you got this first layer, which is just a simple 808 bass, which is bust to track 7, which again has got a Camel Crusher and saturation plugin on. So you've got that first layer, and then you've got the second layer. It sounds like a more distorted sound. Then you've got the third layer, which is very lo-fi. So together they sound, and then together they groove around the drum. So then moving on from the kick, snare and bass, I've got just some little sound effects and some little vocal samples and a little, just a little sound effect there. got just a sound like a bass, which is a higher note than the actual bass. Call and response to the groove. To get close to that type of sound, it is quite a bit of sound design initially. Putting your 3 layers of kick together, to get that sounding nice and full across the frequency spectrum, and also getting the bass to sit properly in the groove around the drum. When you're using the bass and putting it around the kick and the snare, what you want to try and do is use the same bass sample and interweave it between the kick, and then the second layer of the bass you want to use exactly the same sample and distort it, and then the third layer of the bass you want to again have a more lo-fi sound, and then so you've got a sort of mid-range bass, a sub bass and a top bass, and then just combine the 3. If you try to use a different bass sample, it's not going to sound quite right. And there we go. So it's just a short little tutorial there, just to try and get near to the sound of electro techno. It just gives you an idea of the sound design that goes into creating their sound. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.